It was a pretty sunny day to hold the graduation day, but unfortunately we couldn't step outside because it was still the COVID-19 pandemic in the middle of 2021. Of course, I graduated from vocational high school via Zoom. Usually, the expectation for people who have just graduated from vocational high school is to graduate directly to work or work while studying. I, who was just 17 years old at the time, was consumed by that stereotype. I imagined that when I graduated, I would get a good job, a minimum wage, and after that, the next year or two, I will go to college. And yes, it was just expectation. For months, I applied for jobs, and several times I did not produce good results. There were many mistakes I made, and many things I also work on to improve myself. This put me in a bit of a slump. I was tired of the phase when I could send 15 job applications in a day. Pressure from family. My father always asks, "Have you gotten a call job yet?" This made me down even though I always tried to give my best. I also got pressure from social media. I saw many great achievements from classmates. Some of them could buy new cell phone, laptop of their dreams with the result of their own sweat. That made me even more embarrassed and stopped using social media for a while. This phase lasted several months until at the end of 2021. My father, who was probably sorry for seeing his youngest daughter down, said, "You just go to college. You can study at Unsri to be close to your village." I, who heard this news, felt like a red carpet had been deliberately spread in front of me. I felt like I was given a hope again. I felt like I was shouting into the ears of people who passed in front of me, like, "I'm going to college, I will go to college." Since then, in January 2022, I immediately registered for SBMPTN. It took a lot of consideration because I was confused about choosing a campus until I finally chose a campus and major with good accreditation. One of which was Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia with the second choice of Universitas Sriwijaya chosen by my father. I prepared myself quite well. It was difficult for me because I needed to learn the learning material because I wasn't from the sound field. There was a lot of new knowledge that I hadn't gotten before. Not only that, various difficulties were difficult to go through, such as burnout, anxiety, and insomnia were very disturbing. Until the day of the exam, to be honest, I even forgot how difficult the questions were. This made me not get good results again. I went to my mom, hugged her and cried. I said, "Mom, I failed again," and cried even more. I was surprised by my reaction. She scolded me. "The way you are crying is like someone who's died. You're too much, you are limiting," she said angrily in front of me. But I said, "But I'm not give up. I will try again for another test, Mom." Yes, at that moment it was a nightmare for me. Let me continue where I fight for the self-selection back at Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. About new study material, books, practice, psychological tasks, and so on. Surprisingly, the question I could do well, but unfortunately, due to time constraint, there were 10 questions that I could not fill in. Again, because of that, during the trip back home, I was disappointed in myself, but what I can do? After the exam, I could only pray and surrender. Let's skip to the announcement day in August 2022. Ooh, so excited! That morning, I immediately took my laptop and opened the website. As you can see now, I'm here. I'm a student of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. I got a good news. I was accepted and I made it. At that moment, I immediately said to my parents, Dad, Mom, I'm going to Bandung and I will go to college. I still remember how happy and light my shoulder were at that time. I don't think it's a very long story, but it's growing process. I don't want to remember how many times I felt back then. In life, it can always be dark. Even if you go through it alone, I know it's scary and lonely, but I believe God will leave you a candle that can use as a wick for a campfire that you will light later. After all, the show must go on, right?